The word cancer can send shivers down your spine. It's a term that carries a heavy weight, often associated with fear and uncertainty. When people hear it, they think of long treatments, hospital visits, and the emotional toll it takes on families. It's a scary word because it represents a serious illness that affects millions of people worldwide. The impact of cancer is far-reaching, touching not just those diagnosed, but also their loved ones and communities. But what exactly is cancer? To understand it, we need to look at the very building blocks of life, our cells. Simply put, cancer is a disease where cells in the body start to grow uncontrollably. Normally, cells grow and divide in a controlled way to keep our bodies healthy. This uncontrolled growth can cause problems because the extra cells can form a mass called a tumor. Tumors can be benign, meaning they don't spread, or malignant, which means they can invade other parts of the body. These malignant tumors can invade nearby tissues and organs, interfering with their normal function. This invasion can cause a range of health issues depending on where the tumor is located. Cancer can occur in almost any part of the body, which is why there are so many different types of cancer. Each type has its own characteristics and challenges, making the fight against cancer a complex and ongoing battle. Our bodies are made up of trillions of tiny cells, the basic building blocks of life. These cells are incredibly diverse, each type performing unique and essential functions that keep us alive and healthy. Normally, these cells grow and divide in a very orderly way, following a precise schedule that ensures everything runs smoothly. They replace old or damaged cells with new ones, maintaining the body's integrity and function. This constant renewal is vital for our health. This process is tightly regulated by our genes, which act like blueprints telling the cells when to grow, divide, and die. These genetic instructions ensure that cells behave in a controlled and predictable manner. Cancer cells, however, don't play by the rules. They undergo genetic mutations that disrupt their normal behavior. These mutations cause them to ignore the signals that tell them to stop growing and dividing, leading to uncontrolled multiplication. This unchecked growth forms tumors and can spread to other parts of the body. It's like a car with a stuck accelerator. It just keeps going faster and faster. Without the usual brakes to slow them down, cancer cells can quickly become a serious threat to health. Not all cells are created equal. Some cells, like skin cells, have a short lifespan and are constantly being replaced. Other cells, like nerve cells, live much longer and don't divide as often. This difference in lifespan is important because it affects how often cells are at risk of developing cancer-causing mutations in their DNA. Think of it like this. The more times a cell divides, the more chances there are for something to go wrong in the copying process, leading to mutations that can cause cancer. Section 4, the control center, genes and cell division. Deep inside the nucleus of every cell lies our DNA, a complex molecule that contains our genetic information. Within our DNA are specific genes that control cell growth and division. Two important types of genes involved in this process are oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes. Oncogenes are like the gas pedal of cell growth, promoting cell division. Tumor suppressor genes, on the other hand, act like brakes, slowing down cell division and repairing damaged DNA. These genes work together to keep cell growth in check. Section 5. When good genes go bad, DNA damage and cancer. Sometimes our DNA can become damaged by things like UV radiation from the sun, certain chemicals, or even just errors that occur during cell division. When these genes are damaged, it can disrupt the normal balance of cell growth and division. If an oncogene becomes mutated, it can become permanently turned on, causing cells to grow and divide uncontrollably. Similarly, if a tumor suppressor gene is damaged, it can no longer put the brakes on cell division, also leading to uncontrolled growth. Section 6. Tumors, how they grow and spread. As cancer cells continue to divide uncontrollably, they can form a mass of tissue called a tumor. This process begins when the normal regulatory mechanisms of cell growth and division fail, allowing cells to proliferate without the usual checks and balances. Over time, these rapidly dividing cells accumulate, forming a visible mass. Some tumors are benign, meaning they are non-cancerous and don't spread to other parts of the body. Benign tumors typically grow slowly and have well-defined borders. They can often be removed surgically and are less likely to recur. However, their presence can still cause problems if they press on vital organs or structures. However, other tumors are malignant, meaning they are cancerous and can invade surrounding tissues. Malignant tumors are more aggressive and can infiltrate nearby tissues, making them harder to remove completely. They have the potential to spread to distant parts of the body, complicating treatment and reducing the chances of a full recovery. To grow larger, tumors need a blood supply to provide them with oxygen and nutrients. Without a sufficient blood supply, the tumor cells would be unable to sustain their rapid growth and would eventually die off. This is why the development of a blood supply is a critical step in tumor progression. They do this by stimulating the growth of new blood vessels, a process called angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is driven by signals from the tumor cells that encourage nearby blood vessels to sprout new branches, effectively feeding the growing tumor. This not only supports the tumor's growth, but also provides a pathway for cancer cells to enter the bloodstream. Once a tumor has a blood supply, it can start to spread to other parts of the body through a process called metastasis. Metastasis occurs when cancer cells break away from the original tumor, travel through the bloodstream or lymphatic system, and establish new tumors in other organs. This ability to spread makes cancer particularly dangerous and challenging to treat. If you want to know more about science, subscribe to our channel. And if you're interested in this topic, check out episode 10 to learn more about cancer.